Okay, well, election day is done and gone. That doesn't mean we have any answers about what the future holds for Washington, D.C. And with me, Wall Street veteran Alan Valdes, who we've been doing this series all through the month of October and today to talk about the election. My goodness, Alan, I would have no idea things would end up like this. What now?
It's crazy. It really is. I never saw anything quite like it last night. I mean, at 11 o'clock, last night, no one knew who won yet. And this morning I wake up, still no one knows who wins. You got some key swing states or just going to start counting votes today, the mail-in votes. And it was a nutty night. It really was. And I think there's going to be a lot of court challenges going on. I heard where Trump sent 100 lawyers just to North Carolina itself and Michigan. So it's going to be a crazy day. I don't know if we'll know this week who really won the election.
So what does that mean? So these lawyers go in and they start asking for evidence. They want to see all the mail-in ballots. They start counting themselves. I mean, how does that work and how long would something like that take? Do you have any idea?
Well, it could take, depending on how many lawyers they get down there, it could take 2 weeks to count millions of ballots. It's insane. It really is insane. Plus, now they have to all be guarded and locked up so no one can fool around with them. And they should have postmarks on them. But I think Pennsylvania is going to say you don't need postmarks. Pennsylvania said you don't even need to sign them. So, I mean, it's insane down there. I don't know. And then the way they called it yesterday, first of all, the pundits were all off. They had Biden winning all these states. And right now it's just a toss up. They don't even know the states. Trump did pull out Ohio, Florida, and what was the other one? And in Michigan, I think, right? Was it Michigan?
No, it hasn't been said yet. So we may hear Michigan today. Ohio, Florida. Yeah, I think
Texas, he pulled out Texas there. Yeah. So he pulled out 3 big states, but Biden was back to back winning big states out west too. So it's really crazy. But yet the market right now is up 600 points.
I know.
And that kind of tells you they think Trump's going to pull this out. But I don't know. Personally, I've been watching this for years, these elections, and this is too close and too crazy to call.
Well, and we've been set up over the past few weeks to a couple of things have been repeated over and over. Every vote counts, which of course it does, right? But it has to be legitimate. It has to be, like you said, signed and postmarked. We have to know it's a legitimate vote. And the other thing we're hearing a lot of is the Democrats are all mailing in their votes. And then they leave the mail-ins to count after people who voted on election day. So we're kind of conditioned to go, okay, well, it must be Biden's winning. So I think, I would feel a lot more comfortable for the future of this country and the kids at my country or the country that my kids are going to grow up in if we do have people go in and look at all this stuff and make sure it's all on the up and up.
I agree. And another thing, I think I take Pennsylvania, for instance. You can still be sending your mail-ins today. I mean, the election was yesterday. I think we should have a November 3rd cutoff. If it's not postmarked by November 3rd, you're out of luck. I mean, it's not like this is a surprise date they tell on people. It's November 3rd every year for the last 200 years. So, I mean, it's not fair. It really isn't. And it can bring up a lot of cheating. And worst of all, the impression this leaves on the public, I think, is just says, hey, there's a lot of shenanigans going on. And it seems that way. It seems like they're holding back, like in Florida, like we mentioned. They didn't want to announce the winner, and they didn't announce, as far as I know. I don't even know if they announced it yet.
Yeah, they did. But it took a while. It was a long time. Yeah, it was very different and strange this year. And I think the mail-in had something to do with everybody's cautiousness.
Yeah, I think if you're mailing in, you have to have it postmarked by the 3rd. You can't, and you got to have it all counted by the 3rd. So you better get in before the 3rd. I mean, you don't go to the post office at like your tax time and mail your taxes at midnight,
You're right. And you have to stop it at some point. I mean, it's like November 15th, we're still allowing, So but I do think, so as you mentioned, the market was quite a bit higher today. We do know that the Senate will remain Republican. So some of those kind of extreme, like, the tax increase and the capital gains tax increase and the extreme New Deal, the Green New Deal and all that stuff. I mean, that's not going to happen. So maybe that's behind the
That, yeah,
positivity?
you're right. That is one saving grace. And actually, even in the House, some of votes were eroded. I think 2 or 3 House votes were picked up by Republicans. So the Democrats still control it, but their margins are a little slimmer today. But yeah, the Senate was key, and I think you and I spoke about that. Even if Trump doesn't win, Joe Biden can't do much. I mean, he can do a little, but still, the Senate will have the overriding power. And of course, you mentioned the Green Deal and a lot of these crazy things. But
Very expensive things. So, well, Mitch McConnell, definitely a winner from last night. So,
I'm definitely a winner.
yeah.
And
So,
Zelensky, I think, was the most expensive seat, right? It was like over 100 million and he lost.
and it was not even close. I mean, it was
No,
like 70% to 30% ish. So, so what sectors are you watching for the rest of the year? Are there any that can benefit from chaos? Gold?
not really. And I'll tell you, that's one thing Wall Street hates. Even though it's up today, they hate uncertainty. So I think you're going to see these wild swings right now. Again, mathematically, Trump can still win. And mathematically, it's harder for Joe Biden to get those absentee ballots because basically, absentee ballots historically, going all the way back, have mimicked what the popular vote does. And right now, Trump is winning in that popular vote. So if all shit, he could still pull this out. It's going to be tough because he lost, Nevada, which they were hoping to win. In Pennsylvania, who knows? But he was leading in Pennsylvania last night, pretty good. But now, there could be a lot of ballot dumping going on that we don't know. But that's why he's got 100 lawyers coming into Pennsylvania also. And, this will sort itself out. That if it is corrupt and if there is some kind of corruption, that usually falls apart. I mean, that's what happened with the Chads back in Florida with Gore. Someone spilled the beans that, we were a lot of cheating going on. So we'll have to see what happens here. But it's great, and I think they really got to tighten that up. There's no excuse for not having your election in by the 3rd and not being counted. I mean, these states, they should, if they look for another huge turnout, they should say, okay, you have to have your mail in by November 1st. You know who you're going to pick by November 1st. So I think it's crazy, and it cheats the public. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, and it's democracy, and I mean, the rest of the world must be like, what the heck is going on over there? With we don't even.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, so all right. Well, this has been really fun, Alan. It's been great, and I'm gonna miss our weekly chats.
Well, who knows? This may go on for a couple more months.
Very true. We may be talking about this for a while. Well, thank you so much. And
I hope for the country it's over pretty quick.
Yeah.
One way or really.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Alan. We'll talk soon.
Jane, have a good weekend.
Bye.